17. Why did you have to do that?
They had left themselves wide open.
So we have done videos like this one on a homosexual vampire who honestly just terrorizes one specific family for shits and giggles. We've done a video like this on heroes from the distant past. We've done a video like this on psychics, on ninjas, on pirates, and a literal blue hedgehog for some godforsaken reason. So then we all know what the logical next step in this series will be. That's right, a 16-year-old high school girl. Today's video is going to be all about the original magical girl herself, Sailor Moon. For those of us who don't know an awful lot about Sailor Moon, here's a little summary of the just general story. Usagi lives together with her brother Shingo and her parents in the big city of Tokyo, Japan. One day she oversleeps and tramples a poor innocent cat on her way to school. Turns out the cat conveniently has the power to grant Usagi a way to transform into a so-called Sailor Guardian. Usagi honestly cries a lot, but manages to defeat her first enemy through Luna, the cat's guidance. This is also where she meets this fucking Dynamo wannabe who serves as her main love interest throughout the series. But what exactly is a Sailor Guardian other than being a low-budget cosplay of those, old sailor-style Japanese school uniforms? To put it simply, a Sailor Guardian is a magical girl which uses their powers to fight against the forces of evil. Well, most of them do. Each sailor is associated with an object in outer space, in Sailor Moon's case, the moon. The powers of a Sailor Guardian are said to come from the Sailor Crystal within them. Sailor Moon possesses the Silver Sailor Crystal, which is primarily used to heal, revive and purify others. Although she isn't an eager combatant by herself, she does hold her own in a fight using primarily light-based attacks which grow stronger with the support of her friends. Basically Nakama power. Let's take a look at what powers Sailor Moon specifically possesses. I will note here that I am by no means an expert at the Sailor Moon verse, so I might not get everything perfect, but I did my best at doing research for her powers, so please do bear with me. For starters, when a Sailor Guardian transforms, certain aspects of her uniform can act as weapons on their own. Sailor Moon has several of these as well, some of which being: her tiara can be used for attacks such as her Moon Twilight Flash, which honestly looks like and pretty much functions like an energy blast, and her Moon Twilight Boomerang, which has similarities to the Destructo Disc devised by Krillin. Her red hair ornaments can be used to hear over great distances and produce supersonic waves which can be used to attack or disorient the enemy. She was once in the possession of the Moonstick, which had the power to revive the entirety of the Earth's population. Even though she no longer has this item to my knowledge, we do need to acknowledge that she had an item which just possessed power rivaling that of the Dragon Balls. Her Spiral Heart Moonrod, which is the upgraded version of her old Moonrod, is her main weapon which she uses to fight against the demons. She has multiple attacks she uses with this item, such as the Moon Spiral Heart Attack and the Rainbow Moon Heartache. She later upgrades this item to her Moon Kaleidoscope. Her final quote-unquote weapon she gets when transforming is her Eternal Tiare, which she unlocked when she transformed into her Eternal form. This is her strongest weapon for now when talking about her actual equipment, the things she actually wields as quote-unquote weapons. But aside from the previously discussed items, the Fateverse better watch out because Usagi just stole their holy grail. And by using this grail, she can transform into Super Sailor Moon and use more powered up attacks. Sailor Moon has multiple power-ups, but her commonly agreed strongest form would probably be her Eternal Sailor Moon form or her Lambda form. In this form, she harnesses the star seeds of the entire solar system and draws on them for power. Yes, you heard that right, she is easily galaxy level when it comes to power output. Actually, she's honestly stronger than your average galaxy level fighter, since she can basically one-shot all of the Galactica Reborn sailors and fought on equal footing with Sailor Galactica. She might not look it, but she is a force to be reckoned with even when measuring with Dragon Ball standards. Even when it comes to durability, she can tank universal-sized attacks. It's safe to say that until we get to characters that are at least I'd say perfect cell level, nothing could really harm Usagi. I know that this might seem crazy to some of you, but she is literally just that guy. Or, well, girl. She even has pretty much infinite stamina when she is in her Eternal Sailor Moon or Lambda form. So she will most definitely beat a lot of fighters if things turn into a battle of attrition. When in her Lambda form, she just casually restored and remade an entire galaxy, by the way. This little girl is absolutely broken. I'll be honest, when I started researching, I thought she would probably make it to Namek or something, because whilst I already knew a few things here and there about Sailor Moon, I knew nowhere near what I learned whilst researching for this video. The difficulty with placing her into Dragon Ball is honestly because the whole magical girl trope is not really really something we see in Dragon Ball. The closest reference, quote unquote, is probably Ribrianne, Rosie and Kakunsa from the Tournament of Power. And I don't mean the visuals of like magical transformations, dances, poses, etc. We have the Ginyu Force for those. My point is mainly that I am unsure if Usagi's attacks are more magically based like say Babidi or Moro, or more energy based like say Krillin or Roshi. And I can already hear you saying like, Jesus dude, what the fuck does it matter? Who cares if it's magic or energy based? It's all the fucking same in it. And that's where I would actually disagree. If her attacks are purely energy or, ki based in Dragon Ball terms, think of her beam attack and a boomerang attack for example. Pretty much all of the fighters in Dragon Ball would know how to handle her attacks as they are accustomed to energy based combat. This would mean that her attacks would be deflected, evaded or countered much sooner than if her attacks would be magic based. Obviously, if her attacks are energy-based, she could still overpower any foe weaker than her with ease, like we shouldn't forget that at all. But after analyzing her abilities like her attacks, items, and healing powers, I would personally classify her as a magic-based fighter over an energy-based fighter, and this does grant her further advantages when fighting in the world of Dragon Ball. Magic fighters are a small group which have all proven to be quite troublesome in the world of Dragon Ball. Think of how Monster Carrot would have ended Goku's journeys with ease if he just touched him. Think of how Dabura, his Stone Spit is basically a one-shot, one-kill attack. And think about Babidi's mind control abilities. Think of Boo's ridiculous just magic hacks overall. And think of Moro's passive energy stealing technique. He just needs to be near you and you get weaker, like that's broken. The ability to use magic in the world of Dragon Ball really does give you an edge in the fact that opponents won't immediately know the nature of your attacks or how to counter them. But aside from her powerful offensive abilities, Usagi also has insanely potent healing powers. She is basically just a walking talking Senzu Bean and Dragon Ball dispenser. Unless someone finds out a way to block her healing powers, she will probably just outlast any ordinary opponent. But how far do I personally think she would get when she faces the Dragon Ball universe? For starters, we can just write off the entirety of OG Dragon Ball. I doubt I have to explain this one, so I just honestly won't. We all know that the bums in OG Dragon Ball would need to call Child Protective Services because everyone there is going to get served. Vegeta and Nappa would also get the Johnny Sins treatment because their assholes are going to be torn apart by this high school girl. Which sounds incredibly wrong, so I would like to kindly ask no one to cancel me. Thank you for your consideration. But Frieza can blow up a planet, but if that would hurt Usagi, we would not be here now, would we? Like, Frieza honestly just has no chance, and him being the overconfident, cocky little shit will certainly not help his chances either. Cell is probably the first enemy who can put up something of a fight. Even though I believe Usagi is stronger than Cell for sure, Cell's regeneration and sane biology should not be underestimated. He could put up a good fight for sure, but ultimately I do believe Usagi will either just hit his nucleus through deduction or honestly by sheer luck in a drawn out battle. When it comes to Majin Buu, it becomes a difficult decision to decide who would come out on top. Buu might not be as powerful than Usagi per se, but yes, I do believe she outpowers Buu, but he has a ton of his own gimmicks. His regeneration is incredibly potent, his magic is tricky and difficult to handle, and he can still destroy galaxies, albeit a bit slower than Usagi could theoretically and possibly do. Honestly, I could stand with either side on this one. Like, I can definitely see Usagi destroying Buu with her Eternal Lambda form, but I feel equally confident in Buu's ability to just out-hacks Usagi with his regeneration or magic or whatever. Both parties can take the other one on, at least in my unprofessional dumbass opinion. I am however going to give Usagi the benefit of the doubt and say that, she is capable of clearing Buu with some luck and or maybe like, hacks or cheats or whatever though. I think she could potentially do it. I do think that she caps at the appearance of Super Saiyan Blue though. Maybe even earlier during Battle of Gods, but once the gang masters God Ki and have access to Super Saiyan Blue, I feel that Usagi would no longer be able to properly keep up, for now at least. Who knows, maybe she will obtain a new power someday which would make me, change my evaluation, but this means that I will be placing her at around the Resurrection F saga of Dragon Ball Super. So what do you guys think about this placement? Did I place her too high or did I maybe underestimate her quite a bit? Just let me know in the comment section as usual, and with that being said, thank you all so much for watching and I will see you again in the next video. Peace out. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more similar content in the future, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss another video ever again. If you want to support me in another way, I recently set up a channel membership option. It's only $5 a month, but please only spend your money on supporting me if you can actually miss it. Things are expensive enough already as things stand, and I don't want people to get monetary issues because they feel they want to support me. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.